guys, it's Neil again from Heart of Texas Armory, and today I want to bring you guys a mini review and overview of my new Combi bracelet for my G-Shock. So join me today and find out my complete thoughts on this really nice upgrade for just about any G-Shock. So if any of you guys aren't familiar with the Combi bracelet, I'll go ahead and quickly kind of explain what they are. So they are a completely composite bracelet for your G-Shock. You can see mine here in front of you guys. So they're going to wear a lot like a steel bracelet, but of course they are a lot more lightweight because they're constructed out of resin. And you can pick up G-Shocks from Casio with these bracelets installed. Now they are kind of hard to come by because it was a limited release. And the reference number on that particular watch is GWB 5600 BC-1B. So like I mentioned, those watches do come with the Combi bracelets installed from Casio, and they can be picked up anywhere from around $150 up to about $250. And they do occasionally pop up on the used market as well. And speaking of the used market, that's probably your best bet to pick one of these bracelets up if you want to add it to your current G-Shock. So this one here I picked up from the Watch You Seek forum, and they pop up there occasionally as well as on eBay. So if you do want to pick one of these up, expect to pay anywhere between $70 up to probably about $110 on the used market for one of these Combi bracelets. So I wanted to show you guys some of the construction details of this bracelet. So let me bring it up to the camera a little closer for you guys. And you should be able to tell that this is a completely resin bracelet minus the clasp. So each one of these links are resin, and they are held together by spring bars, which is really nice. And you can see they do have holes here on the side, kind of like drilled lugs on a watch, so you can easily access those spring bars to size this up perfectly for your wrist. Moving on down to the clasp here, you can see it is a stamped steel clasp, and it does have the traditional 2-button deployment, which I'm a huge fan of that. And that quick release there is one of the reasons why I wanted to upgrade to this bracelet. Because of the speed, you're able to simply push the buttons to remove the watch from your wrist or to quickly install the watch back on your wrist. So on the wrist here, my Casio G-Shock DW5600 is very comfortable with this Combi bracelet. It wears beautifully, just like a traditional steel bracelet would, but obviously this is going to be much lighter since it is constructed out of resin. And it's a big upgrade over the standard resin strap that it comes with. So most of you guys are familiar with those straps. You know, they work just fine, but for me personally, they just were never very comfortable because they are stiff, and they also wear a bit hot, particularly in the summer in my opinion, so I just never was a big fan of them. And prior to this Combi bracelet, I actually had some adapters installed on my G-Shock, and those adapters allowed me to use both NATO straps and Zulu straps. And most recently I had an elastic NATO strap from Vario installed, and it worked better than the NATOs. It was more comfortable. But one of the issues I've always had with those adapters is that it adds quite a bit of length to the lug-to-lug distance because they overhung quite a bit over the watch case. So on my wrist, it just had a bit of overhang, which I never could get used to. And that's definitely a great improvement here with the Combi bracelet. You can see that these end links here really sweep down and really hug the wrist, which prevents me from getting that overhang I was getting with the adapters. And even though the bracelet is constructed out of resin, you can see it behaves a lot like a high quality bracelet. The links do articulate beautifully here, which again adds to comfort on the wrist. So overall, this Combi bracelet is a huge win in my opinion, and something that I definitely recommend to you guys. And if you're looking to upgrade your G-Shock, particularly in regards to comfort, these Combi bracelets are definitely a great choice if you can find one. So to wrap this video up, we'll quickly go over some of the positives and negatives with this Combi bracelet. So starting off with the first positive, we're going to go with the most obvious choice here, and that's going to be how comfortable this Combi bracelet is on wrist. I love that this resin bracelet does have plenty of articulation in the links here, which allows the bracelet to really conform to your wrist here. And also I'll point out that the end links sweep down beautifully, so again, it's going to really hug your wrist and wear beautifully. Another positive is going to be the adjustability of this bracelet. So right here you can see you do have a total of 4 micro adjustments, which is a really nice feature, which allows you to really dial in this bracelet size for your wrist. And also, every one of these links is pretty much removable. It's very simple to remove links because you do have spring bars holding this bracelet together, and you can easily access those spring bars right here through these holes on the side of the bracelet. Another great feature about the Combi bracelet is how lightweight it is. So even though it is very high quality, The construction here being made out of resin keeps the weight down, which is excellent, particularly on this type of G-Shock, which has a resin case as well. So keeping the weight down is very important to me on a G-Shock, and this combi bracelet does not add additional weight, which is excellent. And finally, the last positive here I'll mention is the speed at which you can quickly remove the watch from your wrist or quickly put it back on the wrist. So having this bracelet style clasp system is way better in my opinion compared to the traditional pin and buckle system on most G-Shock straps. So this clasp system here is a huge benefit in my opinion and definitely adds to the wearability of this watch. As for the negatives, there's only a couple things that I'll mention, and the first couple are going to be price and availability. So the price on these, in my opinion, is a bit steep for what you get. So like I mentioned, expect to pay anywhere between $70 up to about $120 for the bracelet by itself, or you can, if you're lucky, track down one of the models that has the bracelet installed from the factory from Casio, and those go for anywhere between $150 up to about $250. So when you look at the actual construction of this bracelet in regards to its price, it is a bit steep, but you do get a quality product that definitely upgrades your G-Shock. And since these combi bracelets aren't the most common bracelets out there, they can be a little difficult to track down, so just be patient and be on the lookout for them. eBay is always a good option, as well as the classified sections at watch forums. And the last thing I'll mention here is that these bracelets are heavily cloned, so you need to be on the lookout for potential clones of these combi bracelets. Now, the quality of the clones is pretty good, but it's not near as good as the authentic products from Casio. So quickly here, I'll just go over a few things to look for. So one, the first thing that I would look for is on the clasp, you want to look for the engraving of Vietnam. As far as I know, that's where all of these combi bracelets are actually produced, is in Vietnam. So if you find a combi bracelet that is not marked Vietnam, you pretty much know it's going to be a fake. Another thing you want to look at is the actual quality of the actual bracelet. So look for additional mold marks, and that's kind of a telltale giveaway as well that the bracelet might be a fake. And then finally, a lot of the clones don't actually use spring bars to hold together the links. So if you find a combi bracelet that's not held together by spring bars, you can pretty much guarantee that it's a clone or a fake. But overall, I really love these combi bracelets. Just the increased comfort on wrist is really nice, as well as the ability to have a traditional dive style clasp here. So definitely highly recommend them. Guys, if you have any questions or comments on this bracelet, leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll catch you on the next one. You guys take care.